with Mocienne Petit Jackson. This is where I wanted to be. I wanted to check out the water because it's been very dry in the Netherlands, just like the rest of the world. And here, there's not a lot of water. And I wanted to come here because I wanted to have a very, very quiet place on my own, alone, on this bridge. I wanted to be on this bridge alone and walk here alone. This is what I wanted on this bridge. There is no water. It's absolutely dry, but still a very beautiful place to be standing here on this bridge. And how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I don't know. I really want to stand here. Let me try it. I really want to stand here. I really want to sit here, but how can I do that with my camera? Just really want to sit here. So put down my shoes. Just going to put out my shoes. There's nobody around, just only me. To make sure I don't drop my phone while talking to you. Yes. This is what I want. I was lost finding this piece of quietness. You know, even I'm near a road, it's still quiet, just really quiet me time. Why did I want to be here? For the quietness. Just really wanted to be here for the quietness. Let me put out my small bag. Put it very close near me. Don't drop anything. Don't drop any key. So this is me sitting in my dress. Oh, really? Sometimes you just want to be somewhere, and this is where I wanted to be. I really wanted to be here. Really want to be in this bridge, really. And I knew on this hour I would not disturb anyone. It would be just very quiet, me and the bridge. I was talking a lot about that I believe that the album Thriller destroyed my father's life, and one thing that I found out, that it was very clear to me straight away when I found out that Michael Jackson was my father and I was kidnapped and they cut in my body. I have a lot of scars on my body, and I have shared the photos of my scars of my kidnapping and my lawsuit against the Dutch government. And then I decided, you know, should I share my scars with my YouTube followers on my body? And then I decided, after a very long time of thinking, I decided no. You know, there are some scars on my body. They are just there. And I'm touching them a lot because they hurt near my breast. And when I was kidnapped, the doctors, when I was kidnapped in the Netherlands, and the doctors had to investigate my body, they could see the scars on my body. And they knew that my scars were so deep that I wasn't going to talk about it. When Michael Jackson came back into my life in 2001, I screamed at my father for 2 years. I screamed at him 2 years. No, maybe 8 years. Maybe I've screamed to my father for 8 years. And I always said to him, Dad, this happened to me because you wanted to be the biggest artist in the world, you know. So I always said to me, Dad, you have sold me to the devil. And I say it in the most horrible, horrific way that a father don't want to hear. And then I called my father greedy, and I called him stupid. I called him my favorite asshole. God, I called him so much, so many names. And it did not affect my father. His bodyguards told me that it did not affect my father at all. He was just quiet, and then he was like, okay, there we go again. But it wasn't that he wasn't hurt of my expression. He totally understood my expression of the pain. When I heard the first time the album Thriller, this is a topic that I really want to talk about it. Many of the songs on the album, I have already heard my father singing to me. Like Human Nature was my childhood lullaby. Every time when I was sick and I had fever and my father was holding me around, walking around with me, he always sang Human Nature. His voice was so beautiful. Just a cappella, no music. Just hearing my father's heartbeat. And I wanted to be focused in hearing him sing. Even I was very much in pain. I don't remember which part of my body was hurting me as a child, but I know I was in pain and I was in fever, and my father was holding me close to his body. He didn't wear any t-shirt. I could really hear his heartbeat. My father, Michael Jackson, he always put me near his heartbeat. So he never put me on the right side that I couldn't hear his heart. He always hold me on the right side so that I could hear his heartbeat, hear him breathing, hear his voice. And I remember that he was singing Human Nature. Many times he sang many times he just sang the song. And I remember singing him The Lady of My Life, you know, and till I fall asleep. So the first time I heard the album Thriller, it was the first time that I heard, that I remember the songs, but it was the first time that I heard the music. I don't remember anything else. Quincy Jones, I remember him as a man that always looked angry to me. I didn't like Quincy Jones. I find him very scary as a child. Don't know why, but I find him extremely scary. And I don't know nothing about Quincy Jones, than only that I didn't like him. I remember Quincy Jones when I was very little, really very little, playing on the ground, you know, just playing on the ground, as someone who was coming to disturb my game, as someone who looked at me very deep. He was always reading people's soul, you know. So like he also tried to read my soul, Quincy Jones. And I didn't have a specific feeling for him. And the thing that I found out later that was really crazy is that I have been in a studio near my father, but I did not know what a studio was as a child. I was busy with my games. I was busy playing, and but I knew that Quincy Jones, that he played a lot of instruments. So as a child, I was like, I didn't like him, but he was, I was intrigued with him. Very intrigued with him. And I find him very scary. I can only tell you that Quincy Jones, when I was a child, I find him very scary. He didn't give me that warm feeling as Stevie Wonder did, Barry White did, Marvin Gaye did. No, I have experienced Quincy Jones as a very man that was very silent, looking deep into my soul. I was intrigued with the way he played many instruments, but I don't have any memories of hearing my father singing near Quincy Jones. I don't have any memories of that. Maybe it happened, but I don't remember. I don't recall. And I wish that my father was alive so that he can help me recall things that maybe I don't remember. But the album Thriller was so emotional for me because I was kidnapped, because people wanted to have that money, that Thriller album money. That's why people have hurt me. So the first time I heard I don't want to cry. Just don't want to cry. The first time I heard the Thriller album, I had a totally emotionally breakdown. My world just fell apart. And I was 9 years old. I was just kidnapped to the Netherlands. I was with my adopted parents, living in a big house. That was nothing new for me because all my life I have already lived in a big house, so that was nothing new to find out about that. And I had this Alpay in my hand. It was the first time that things were coming together. Why I was kidnapped, why I had all the scars on my body, why my sister Daily Vance was drugs. They have give her TBC to get her kidnapped with me to the Netherlands. And I know exactly who did it and how they did it. So my sister, she's my niece, and she was a child of my angry aunt, Kelly Petit. She was married to Mr. Petit, and she was a family member of Katharine Jackson's side, DNA. So she was not from Joe's side, but she was from Katharine's side. And Katharine niece was her mother, far news, but by DNA. I did a DNA test to find out exactly my relationship with this woman. So her child was kidnapped with me, Daily France. And to do so, they really made her sick. Some people are passing.
Alles goed?
Ja, gaat goed. Sorry. They asked me if everything's okay. Yeah, gaat goed. So they asked me if I just get emotional. So I know what they did to Daily Font anyway. She was biologic child of my aunt Kelly, and the story with Kelly is that are you ready? In my opinion, in my view of what I understood from the situation, she was in love with my father, Michael Jackson. God knows I did not know that my father was a huge star. Many women liked him. But she was a married woman with 7 children, pregnant of the 8th child. And I was her 8th child for a while, but my father, Michael Jackson, did not have any sexual relationship with this woman. He was very good to his children, to her children. He made her children go to college in America. He paid for everything. Kelly was married to a very abusive guy. He later also went to jail in Haiti. He was a very bad guy. And she was running the estate in Haiti of the businesses of the Jacksons. So I believe that the Jacksons believed that she was very trustworthy, but she wasn't. I don't know exactly the part what she was in my kidnapping. I only remember that in the morning she gave me and Daily Funds away, you know. I don't know the story behind that, so I cannot judge her of what she did or what she didn't do. But what I do know is that there was some really bad people. They were poisoning my niece, Daily Funds, that I called my sister. And then we were being kidnapped. And the kidnap was very brutal. And they did horrible things to us that I have described in my book, Thriller, The Dark Side, Netherlands. And Thriller, Betrayal, the memory, a memorial to my father. So I was kidnapped. It was all brutal. And I came to the Netherlands. And that's where I saw for the first time the album Thriller. And I get to listen to my father's voice with music for the first time. Many of the songs I did already know, but I didn't. Ja, gaat goed. Dankjewel. But I didn't know the music, you know. When I was still in Haiti, I can count now because now I'm talking about my life. I can count now how old I was. So now I can say when I was 7 years old, living in Haiti, I sing the song of my father, Beat It, to him. And then my father asked me all questions. Did you see the artist? Did you see that? I said, no, I don't know. And I sing it to him, and I then did the move, Beat It, Beat It. So I can tell you now that was in 1983 that I did that. My memories are coming back to me in timeline, everything. So I know the datas. My brains are coming back. When I was kidnapped, they jerked me so much that I lost some of my small details of my life, like a date and hours. But after 38 years, they're coming back. The doctors also told me that it will come back, and maybe I will go and remember some more horrible things that my brain did not want to remember this couple of years. So that can happen. And if that happened and I don't feel that I can handle it, then I will call a doctor for help, because, yeah, your brain your brain is something that you don't control. But anyway, I remember timelining, so that's really nice for me that I remember. Because I was 7 years old when I sing my song for my father, Beat It. It's one of my favorite memories, because my father was asking me all these questions, if I knew who was the artist. So it was very interesting. And I didn't think about it. I said to him, no. And then I said, Michael Jackson. we in the Jackson family, we called our father Mike. So I know my father's name was Michael, but I didn't make the comparison because in Haiti, there were also so many people that had the name Petit, but they were not related. So, and Michael Jackson, I didn't put it together because first of all, I had to call my father, dad, papa, French, daddy, so papa, daddy, dad, So, I knew the song Be There that I sing it. But when I was kidnapped and I saw for the first time, I saw the album Thriller, I just collapsed. And even after 38 years, it's been 38 years that I saw this album cover with my father on it. And hearing an LP, I felt I died. I absolutely died. I know having the absolutely emotional blackout and crying so loud that my adopted father, that he really had to pick me up. I didn't want him to touch me. And I was really crying. I mean, it must have been horrific for these people to have a child crying for days till I had no voice anymore, crying. And then the doctor came, said I had an emotional breakdown and my blood pressure was high. And I wake up and I cried and cried. Horrific. So my adopted parents, they had a child that was dying of grief. So when my father came back in my life, God, I have screamed to him, liar, liar, your pants on fire. And I said horrible things to him. So what I want to say is I absolutely hate the album Thriller. The album Thriller have destroyed my life, have destroyed the life of my father. And it was one of the best albums ever made in the world, but I hate it. I hated this album because it reminded me of Michael Jackson lies, And I'll be very honest with you. I have also crashed a lot of. I have purposely buy some Thriller albums and I have destroyed them. I have destroyed the records. I have destroyed the photo. I have burned them. I have stamped on them. I have took a hammer and I have put the glasses on. I have break them. I have bite them. I have thrown them against the wall. Oh, so when my father, Michael Jackson, came to my life, I said to him, there's only one thing I still need to do that. I need to wet my ass with a stupid album. You're a liar. Fucking your pants on fire. Yeah. Oh, that album. So, I do not own a Thriller album in my house. I don't own a Thriller album in my house. That's so when people were saying that I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan and etc. I really get pissed off. I really get mad. I don't get mad. I get crazy. Yeah. The things that I did with the Thriller album. Oh yeah, I have also really I've also spit a lot on this album. I have spit a lot on it. So I personally, I cannot watch any. The only video that I can watch on this whole Thriller album is Beat It, because it made me want to say, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Oh, why don't you beat it, beat it? Show you all money, show you all right. If it don't matter, if you all right, just beat it. Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Oh, why don't you beat it, beat it? That's the only clip that I can see, because it's wonderful to sing the lyric, just beat it, you know. And you know, what for horrible thing that I do? Oh yeah, I bought a lot of Michael Jackson magazines. Sorry. Sorry. I bought a lot of Michael Jackson magazines, and I put the number, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Oh, why don't you beat it, beat it? And then I just destroy his photos. Oh, you know, I was spending. Sometimes there were days I was so angry with my dad, Michael Jackson, that I spent my whole allowance buying Michael Jackson magazines that I can destroy. You know, it just. He was such a bitch in my eye. I was thinking. So yeah. Yeah. So if anyone is a Michael Jackson, maybe I have to give a warning with this video. If you are a Michael Jackson fan, don't watch this video, because it's brutal. And when my father came back into my life in 2001, I told him that. So I said to him, I said, Dad, do you know what I did with your #1 record? Do you know what fucking thing I did with you? Your #1 record? I've burned it. Snap it. You know. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. The first concert I ever saw of my father was, of course, Bad. It was the Bad concert, and the Bad tour. And I want to talk about that. That was devastating, absolutely devastating. I was like, my dad is dying. He was so thin. I had another when the Bad album came out, I had another mentally breakdown. But I didn't destroy that record. I didn't. I investigated him. Thriller, I just flipped. I totally flipped. I was flipping, you know. You know, when people said to me in that time that I was a Michael Jackson fan, I was so pissed off. I could really attack them. I'm thinking, Michael Jackson fan, Michael Jackson fan, do you know what this bleep 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 did to me? You know? Oh my God. Oh, I was so angry. I was so angry. I couldn't. So, you know, I just decided to be quiet and just deal with the situation as good as I can. And but when the Bad album came out, I was just crash. I was more crash. When the Bad album come out, I hated him. I hated my father. I really hated him. And that was in 1987, if I'm right, or 88. I really don't know. That's how good Michael Jackson fans I am, that I don't even know exactly which year Um, in the 90s, I really hate Michael Jackson. I hated him more. And when Bad came out, it was like, I just wanted him dead. When Bad came out. But I'm going to talk about that another time. But there was also a time that I changed my mind, that I was going to save my father. That point came a little bit later, that I decided that I was going to save my dad. When I came into the world media in 2010, people assuming that I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. God, it was so painful. It was so incredible painful. It hurted me. I cried hysterical about it. I was thinking, these stupid people, like... I didn't even want to write an autobiography book. I have a very important woman in my life. She convinced me for 4 years to write my book, Thriller, Betrayal, Thriller, the Dark Side. And now I feel like, you're going to read it. Because if you see me walking on the street, or you see me on the television somewhere, you're not going to judge me as a Michael Jackson wannabe daughter or Michael Jackson fan, because what he did to me, the victim that I am from crime that have been done to me, I don't deserve that stempel. Let Paris Jackson be Michael Jackson's daughter, fine. When she was born, I wasn't even jealous of her. That she was going to receive my title, Michael Jackson's daughter. And then I had a very nice conversation with a psychiatrist about, and he said to me, you don't have to be you don't have to be, are you jealous? You don't even have to be jealous in anything, because you are Michael Jackson's daughter. This is a title that is yours. You were his first daughter. Only no one knows. And then I felt a bit better. When they say when siblings get a brother or sister, they are a little bit jealous. I did not have that. I did not have that 1 second. I did not have that 1 second. And especially not when I saw how the children looked like, I was more angry with my dad. But I was thinking, that's his life. I was told by my father's team that it's something horrible, and I'm going to say that the children came because Michael Jackson wanted to prove that he wasn't a child molester case. So he had these children very quick because of that. And I think if that wasn't the situation, the children wouldn't be alive today. But if the children are listening to it, it's not that he doesn't want you. He loves you very much. So when my father decided to have his children, he loves you very much. He chose for you with all his heart. He just loves you. So if you don't let this touch you, don't let this hurt you, what I'm saying to you, Prince, Biggie, and Paris, please, don't take it the wrong way. You were very loved by your father. He really, really loved you. But that was a crucial moment that he said, I want to be a dad, because I'm so sick of tired of all these people giving me this injustice that he's a pedophile. So I can tell you, Prince, Parents, and Biggie, you were made out of love, and he loved you. He loved you. He loved you. So he had the children, and I was angry about the way he had the children. I was thinking, oh, fine, at least then he's not alone. Then he doesn't need me anymore. So that's it. And then it was, I think my father found out in a way that I was thinking that I want him out of my life. I didn't need him. So I went to holiday in 2007. Then one of his friends in Belgium fly where I was. And he just told me that my father, Michael Jackson, needed me in his life. He didn't want it. He didn't want to lose me again. And that was in 2007. I'm going to tell you about that another time. And it was Mocienne Petit Jackson. This is my journey in letting you get to know my life and who I am. To the Michael Jackson fans, please forgive me that I burned the Thriller album. He made it special for you, and he loved you all very much. He loved you more than he loved me, but he made it for you. He made it for you. So please don't take my angriness too hard. I was just young. I was a young girl when I destroyed my father's work. And it has to deal with a lot of emotions for me. I do respect you, the love and that you have for my dad. So that I destroy some of his albums. So please, please don't bully me saying I'm a bad person. Because I'm trying to share my life story as honest as I can be. Just like that I wrote my book, Thriller Betrayal and Thriller The Dark Side of the Lens. It's an honest and true story. And yeah, and I'm doing this YouTube because I don't want my name to be anymore on Google that I'm living in a fantasy world, want to be Michael Jackson's daughter, because there's nothing nice to be. For me, it's nothing great to be Michael Jackson's daughter. It is a hard life, and I suffered a lot, and I just don't want my name to be like I'm living in a fantasy world. What do you mean I'm living in a fantasy world? It's my fantasy that I'm being butchered, that I'm being hurt, and being raped, being abused. Is that the fantasy? Huh? Is that the fantasy I want, you know? Or is my fantasy that I'm living in a pink cloud where Michael Jackson is my king and I'm his princess, whatever? No, that's not reality. I am not living in a fantasy world when I say Michael Jackson is my father. I suffered because of that. I went through hell. My identity have been taken away from me, my money, my family. Okay, some people say that my family because I can still make up with a Jackson. Some of them are nice, but I'm not going to do that. I'm okay being on my own. So, to the Michael Jackson fan, please do not feel defended or angry about my reaction to the Thriller album, because that was my experience, and I'm sharing my experience with you. And because of Michael Jackson fans, I'm learning to love my father a little bit, as you do. I'm learning, and it's not easy to like Michael Jackson as an artist, because I know him so well in a different way. It's very hard for me to. He was a very powerful man. You know, Michael Jackson irritated me in videos when he talk a little bit. Wow, his normal voice, really deep voice, really strong voice. You know, like really, you know what he wants. You know, so. When I look at the 80s videos, my dad, when I was really young, I'm really thinking, what the fuck, guy? What was this with his? What is this with guy? It's not my dad. Who's that guy acting like that? You know, it's not my dad. My dad is easy, is going. It's a low voice, like. Oh yeah, you want to have dinner this evening? Fine. Okay, I will ask Maria to make something nice for you. That's my dad, not that guy with a peep and you know. And what? My father wearing glasses when he talks? No, he's the guy who always wants to have eye contact. Yeah. So I had a hard time dealing with that stupid artist, Michael Jackson. So what? Is that my father? I don't recognize my dad. Okay, I'm gonna put my I'm gonna put my shoes on, go back on the road, go back home. And next time, maybe I will come back next time. Maybe in the leaf, when all the leaves, maybe then there will already be water. So anyway, to the Michael Jackson fans, please don't be angry with me. I'm telling you my life story, and you can love my father as you want. Because of you, I learned to get to know him in a different way. So it was Mocienne Petit Jackson. Thank you for watching, and talk to you next time. Stay safe. To the Michael Jackson, please, 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 please don't write ugly things, that I'm scandalous, that I burn his album. Please, please, please forgive me. But this is an honest story that I did. So be nice to me when you write below, okay? It was Mocienne Petit Jackson. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe. Bye-bye.